Hey guys, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your brow expert. And thank you so much for trusting me with your eyebrows. Some of you guys have come in to get your brows shaped and you learned some tips along the way. So please stop by if you're in the neighborhood. And so yeah, this client that I've been shaping eyebrows for has hair going straight down, doesn't have as much hair up in the top arch. So I'm going to address those two areas. So if you have hair going straight down, if you don't have a lot of hair up in the arch, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, as I've said, the hair is growing straight down and we're going to fill in the corner arch. Now, just so you know, hairs that are growing straight down, they're really short, right? So you can't force it to move like you can with your head of hair because it's so long, right? So the short hairs, I like to just trim it really close to the hairline. I mean, right where it grows. So how do you do that? By outlining them first. And also, I'm going to list all the products at the top corner so you guys can screenshot that to make sure you get the products right there. Okay, so by outlining the top, you can see right at that corner. I'm using myself as a model as well. You guys know I have brow tattoo, right? Which I'll get into another video. But right at that top corner, you want to fill that area in. This helps complete the arch, right? Again, most of us don't have a lot of hair at that top corner. So, and as we age, ladies and gentlemen, we lose hair. So that's a very important area because it gives you that brow lift. It just completes the brow look, right? And when you outline the bottom, it's going to be a lot easier to trim the hairs down below. Scissor is going to be very important. You want a really good scissor, nice and short, but not too sharp. And right here, as you can see, I'm going reverse, meaning I'm going from the outside in, which is very important to remember because when you go from the outside in, you're catching the hair, and because you outline the bottom area, it's a lot easier to trim, really. So I'm going to go ahead and see how I'm trimming the top area. Not that much. Remember, you snip, not cut. It gets shorter as you let it go. So keep that in mind. And again, on myself, I'm just going to go right up here and right down here. This is where we're missing hair, right? Because I have concealer on that, this color is going to go on really dark. So excuse me for that. And underneath, again, you want to go very, very close to the base. And then that's where you grab the scissor and just go reverse. You can use a spoolie brush as well and just comb it down if you like. Look at that arch area right there. That's so important to always fill in if you don't have a lot of hair. And I'm just going to quickly go reverse here as I showed you on the model. Very easy because I outlined. It's really easy for me to get it in there, and I did have some hair right there. Okay, so this brow is now shaped, trimmed. It's ready to go with some color right there. So I'm going to use the brow primer. It's a great product to use if you're using powder, especially if you're using powder, because it helps adhere. The color will go on nice and even. And so if by just placing a little bit, I don't have a primer with me here, but you guys get the idea. The primer has no color. It's just going to prep the top arch area. Just put a tiny bit. I actually like to go over it with a spoolie brush to spread the primer out. And the highlighter, I'm using actually a Pro Pencil. It's an eyeshadow base. I really like this product because if you place it right underneath the eyebrow, right there as I'm showing you, it already helps in filling in the eyebrows. What it does is it separates the skin from the hair, right? So it gives a nice clean look on the eyelid. It separates and gives you a nice mark for the color. So, and sometimes you might think, I don't even need color now once I've done that highlighter because you're already having the brows stand out. So that's something to think about, right? So just a tiny bit. You don't need a lot. You can put a lot more at the outside corner, but just put a little bit right underneath, and that's really it. It's very simple. It's so easy to do. I know anyone can do this, right? So do this first. Just like I said, it helps in filling the eyebrows a lot easier. Now the top of the corner, notice the angle of the brush. I froze that because I want you guys to see that I am going in that direction of the hair, right at that corner right over here, and I'm going to drag it down. Look at that. It's going right at the base, and I'm laying the brush this way, and I'm dragging it down because you're filling in the inside of the eyebrows, but keeping the top area sharp. That's important, right? There's a tip for you. Okay, so you're dragging the brush down and you're just depositing color right in that inside pocket, especially at that top corner, right there. Remember the earlier outline without any color? Look how perfect that application is. Again, if you put just color right at that outside corner and not anywhere else, that also will work. Because again, remember, she didn't have much hair at that top corner. She did have a few around there. So if you do have a few, you can use that as like, I think I pointed out earlier, you can use it as like a connect the dots. So you can go up and then out. But just in case you're not really sure, it's always the pinch of the nose, corner of the iris, that is your arch. And you can make a little mark there if you like. Okay, so underneath, and I'm putting a lot of color just at that corner. I'm not putting that much up in the front. But again, use a brush. I mean, use a brush meaning like all that it's worth, meaning like lift the brush up because it's created in an angle, right? And so use the brush and just go up. And then you just get a nice fuller coverage underneath as well. And make sure you use a spoolie brush to kind of like, I don't know, blend the color in, right? So important because you want to go back and forth, just making sure that the color is blended. So this is a really good application. Wouldn't you agree? Make sure you use the clear brow gel to set everything in. This is a clear brow gel, which, you know, get in the habit of it, whether you're going to put color on or not, because it keeps the hair looking nice and combed. It adds some product, so it adds some thickness to the hair, but also keeps the product on just a little longer. So try that out if you guys haven't already. Soon you will see the before and after, but right up in the front, if it's not as much color, I like to always just add a little bit of color up in the front, but it's very light because I don't like a lot of color up in the front. You want more of the color at the end, not up in the front. So you're just distributing the color throughout to add a bit more of a cohesive look to the eyebrows. And so what do you guys think? That looks pretty good, right? Again, I think I'm now applying the clear brow gel I mentioned earlier, just a little bit more just to make sure that the hair stays nice in place. Look at that before and after, and look at that white little mark I put. Now, again, she did have a few little hairs, and I waxed them she didn't need, and I left some that she did need. And that little dip, well, look at the lower area. It's not there anymore. You can make it a little bit lighter. You don't have to go as dark as I did, but I just want you to focus on that. And also the trimming. That just made such a big difference. You can't even tell it's really trimmed that tight, but it's important that you still leave some hair in there, which is why I trim it really close to the base, because I still want a little bit of hair, even if it's going straight down, because it still is natural, right? Even though it's a little stubby, we need stubbies sometimes. So I hope this helps. Please let me know if it did. Please leave in the comments that you've tried this out. And thank you for subscribing. And thank you for giving me a like. And this helps, really. I mean, it helps me to do a better video. And I will see you guys right back here.